Look, whatever your opinion was yesterday, honestly, this is a fun exercise for everybody listening. 888-957-9570. If you want a mea culpa, you want to do it? Do it. Do it on the show with us. We'll do it as well. Whatever you thought about Warrior basketball 24 hours ago, can you think it now? Is that even possible? Whatever your opinion was 24 hours ago, can you still have it?
Sure.
You can?
Just one game. And if your opinion was totally changed by the win over Milwaukee and then totally changed by the loss against Chicago, then your opinion was flimsy to begin with.
Maybe. But part of watching sports, following a team, and being a fan means that you have to throw some sort of rationale out the window. There's no way that you could watch the game against Milwaukee the other night and not feel some sort of inspiration. None. And then 24 hours later, you're watching Steph Curry in the locker room, and you're watching a team that can't even beat an exhausted Bulls team at home. And so I go back to the opinions that I shared on Wednesday. Why the hell aren't you better at home? I don't understand. I really don't. And watching that game last night, and Fitz and Buki aren't wrong. Bob joined us earlier in the week, and he started saying at the beginning of the game, you don't want this to be close in the fourth quarter,
right?
Because DeMar DeRozan is one of these guys who in the fourth quarter can really break your heart. He just kind of has that knack when things get into the one-on-one scenario late in games. He's a veteran, and then it's exactly what happened. And you're sitting there going, why the hell? Why did that even happen? Why? You came out great. You rocked and rolled to a double-digit lead right away. And listen, we all watch sports. I don't think you can. It's not fair to be like, you got to look good. It'll be the exact same every night. However, one characteristic of any good team is consistency. And the Warriors just don't have it. And Wednesday night was a night where you went, okay, I think there's real progress being made here. And 14-5 over their last 19 doesn't mean that all is lost, but there's no question that at least some measure of what you thought Thursday morning is no longer true. I'll admit it. Now, I didn't put them in the finals. You know that we're doing it day by day. I said Thursday morning that it feels to me like what the Warriors just threw out to everyone was an invitation to feel like your optimistic take isn't crazy. Your optimism with the idea that maybe they will get the 6, 7, or the 8. Maybe they will go to the playoffs, and maybe they'll give someone real trouble in that first round, and maybe actually even win that series. I think that was a rational thought. I don't think it's a crazy thought now all of a sudden, but I just think we reach a moment this morning and into this afternoon where you're like expecting the same thing from the Warriors on a night in and night out basis. It's probably a fool's errand.
Well, and I hate to put this back at you because I know you don't love the expression, but I think it fits today. Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. And if you're really that kind of a team that beats Milwaukee and you're on that run and then you're starting to feel like, yeah, again, we're the team that we all thought that we were and that you thought that we were, and then you come out and you lose to Chicago, and give the Bulls a lot of credit. The Bulls played great last night on the second half of a back-to-back. Their good players played better than your good players, and that's the way that game spun. It was close late, and DeRozan and Vucevic were better than Steph Curry, who got hurt. Draymond fouled out, and Clay off the bench. And when you got down to crunch time, their players were better, and you had a layup to give you the lead late in the game, and
to tie.
And your rookie missed it to tie. Fine,
tied it.
Yeah, and so you're leaning on a rookie to make a play that he'll tell you he should make 19 times out of 20, but he didn't, and they got the rebound, and you had to foul, and then you lost the game.
Yeah.
You got to give Chicago credit. That's all I'm saying.
Vucevic was real good.
DeRozan was also great.
He's fine. He's fine. He made some shots in the fourth quarter.
10 of 17 for 33 points.
Yeah, but again,
I mean,
it's not about not giving credit. It's about situations that you shouldn't find yourself in the first place. You shouldn't be in that situation. This is
You
one of
should
those
be up
nights.
by 20 and just blow them out.
No, I don't expect that in the NBA. The Warriors have played more than half of their games as clutch stat games. So no, that's not my expectation. I sat here yesterday and told you I wouldn't lay the 8. But again, what I do look at are situations. Situationally, you come into that game, you are fully healthy, you are home, and while you're on a back-to-back, they're on a back-to-backer, if you will. Their back-to-back was harder than your back-to-back.
Right.
They should be more tired than you. Then the game starts out, and you are immediately up by double digits. I'm sorry. It's a game you should win. That's not a game where you should find yourself. Dibs, I see your facial expression.
Well,
it's not about being up by 20.
This team has blown double-digit leads.
My man.
Day in and day out.
From the start of the second quarter to the start of the fourth quarter, they got blown out by 20. That's not real. That can't happen. There's zero reason that you should play 24 minutes of basketball on your floor against the Chicago Bulls at full strength and get blown out by 20 points in a 2-quarter stretch. If you're serious, if you're consistent. And so that's all I say today. I know what the Warriors' ceiling is. It's Wednesday night. I also know they're not going to spend the majority of their time at their ceiling. They are not a consistent bunch. And you don't do great things in the playoffs if you're not consistent. You don't do great things, period, in sports. Like, what makes a great player a great player? Andrew Wiggins can score 30 points in a game. Why is Steph great and Andrew's not? Because Steph can do it every night. Andrew can do it twice a month. Sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, it's consistency, and they don't have it. And it's frustrating. It's also fun. You know what I mean? Box of chocolates. Never know what the hell you're going to get during a Warrior game. I mean, how do you feel now about the Texas two-step? You got San Antonio the next 2 games. You willing to put your right foot on the fact that they'll win both of them?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
Oh, my God.
San Antonio's not very good.
San Antonio's been playing
Wembanyama.
a lot better lately.
With Victor Wembanyama in the lineup, but he's not going to be in the lineup.
Without Victor in the lineup.
And Chicago's been playing very good as well.
San Antonio.
And that's something that we don't necessarily want to look at and give credit to. Chicago's been great. They've been much better since they lost Levine.
I mean,
they've been a better team.
Yeah, he's not an efficient player.
Right, and the team has played better since he's been out.
Yeah.
So that's something that you should look at. And they're 3-0 on this road trip.
Home game.
Much like the Warriors were 3-0 on their road trip. Chicago comes in on this road trip.
Yeah.
Very similar, across the country, and they've won the first 3 games, including both ends of a back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, that's Utah. You have designs on being...
And you beat the Kings.
Yeah, you beat the Kings.
Right, and you beat the Warriors.
You beat the Kings, who beat the Spurs by 2 last night. By 2.
Right.
Without Wembanyama. So I'm not just handing tomorrow night to the Warriors. I'm not certainly not
you
handing
can't
Monday
hand
night.
them anything.
No,
honestly.
That's the only point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
That's the only point I'm trying to make. I'm not gonna give them that excuse. It's the NBA. You're gonna lose some games that when you're favored. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying any of that, but when in that situation, you come out, you're up by double digits. I'm sorry. I don't understand going 2 straight quarters and losing the next 2 quarters by 20. That's wild. That to the Bulls, whether they're playing well or not, on your home floor. What is the deal with Chase Center? What is the deal with Chase Center?
Well, you still had the game that could be won, and then you lost Steph Curry.
Yeah, but you got...
and then you had a chance to get a shot to tie the game, and things would change. It's not like you got blown out.
It's a hell of a battle when you start the fourth quarter down by double digits. And it's great that they erased it and gave themselves a shot to win. You shouldn't be in that situation. I don't understand. I really don't. Like, we sat here.
We can ask Steve Kerr.
I'd love to.
Yeah,
we asked him the opposite question last year. And he was like, I don't know what the deal is on the road.
Right.
Well, what's the deal at home? This record stinks at home.
Yeah.
It stinks.
It's bad.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And so, yeah, inconsistency. There's a characteristic that I can wrap my head around. But the fact that you're, what are they now, 17 and 16 at home?
Sounds about right.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, it's because they're that team at home, they're that team on the road, they're that team with rest, they're that team on back-to-backs, they're that team with Steph, they're that team with Draymond, they're that team without Draymond and Steph, and with Andrew, without Andrew, with Clay, without Clay. You could look at every permutation on the Warriors this year. There is no secret sauce. They are this team. They've played 62, they've got 20 left, and they've had good wins and bad wins. They've had good losses and bad losses, and here you are. You are 33 and 29, coming off two of your most dramatic, different games of the year. A shocking domination of Milwaukee, and then a head-scratching loss to Chicago on the back end of a back-to-back. That's who you are.
I don't buy it. I don't. They're 15.
Okay.
They're 15 and 5 in their last 20. So
15 and 4 in their last 19.
Right, but so why would I look at last night and apply that to things that happened in December? I just don't. I see what you're saying, but
right.
You knew this before you even brought it up. I will always roundly reject the whole Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are.
And you can reject that all you want.
Other than the fact that, yes, you're accountable for that record. Like, you don't get to move to the 5 seed just because we now think you're the 5th best team.
Exactly.
You are what your record says you are for the purposes of the standings, but I'm not going to apologize for expecting more out of the Warriors last night than what we got.
You can expect more all you want.
Because who they are right now is not 33 and 29 team. It's a 15 and 5 team. That's who they are right now. And they're at better health now than they were through the majority of that run. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why we wouldn't, and especially I mean, this is a boring thing to say, but it's true. At home. Like, I mean, you're almost a double-digit favorite last night. I don't know. I can't figure that out. That one, last year, we could look at the characteristic of the road, and I think that we did have some thoughts that proved to be true.
Sure.
With regard
the
to
cohesion of the team was broken.
Yes. And so you get why they don't travel well together. But this group, you're veterans, you love each other, you're healthy, you're home.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? It just shouldn't be.
Well, I mean, you look at their home losses of late. You lost to the Clippers by 5. Going back in your last 11, you've lost 3 home games, and you've won 3 home games. So of your last 11, you're 3-3 at home. You gacked a lead against the Clippers, and you got beaten by Denver, who's better than you.
Yep.
And then Chicago came in and played well. I don't know if I look at last night and think, oh, the Warriors, you choked. Chicago played well, and the Warriors, they had a 10-point lead in the first quarter or into the second quarter. Who cares? That's nothing in the NBA.
Yeah, right.
That's a non-factor.
But losing by 20 for the next 2 quarters is. And it's
just the NBA.
It's not a choke. It's just a poor performance.